Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Painting with Harold. I'm Harold. All right. For some reason, I was having technical difficulties. I hope we had those straightened out. Uh, Now, if I can get my device to log in where I can see the chat. All right. I hope you guys can hear me and I hope y'all can see me. That's the important thing right now. I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me and see me. All right. I seen something. Somebody said they can hear. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start painting now. Like I said, first thing I'm going to do is, oh, wait a minute. I got to start all over. Paint on a 12 by 16 inch canvas, already covered in a very thin coat of liquid white. And the colors I'm going to use tonight are titanium white, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, cadmium orange with a little white in it. A little yellow in it, alizarin crimson, midnight black, Van Dyke brown, cadmium yellow, two greens I don't know the name of. I'll post them in a link. Bright red and rose red. And the first thing I did was I came right up here and just tapped my brush into a little bit of cad yellow. Very little. And I want to start about right here in my sky today. Just make a little streak across here, about like that. Then I want to take a little bit of the cadmium orange, very little. I'm going to come right above that. And I'm going to put me a streak of this orange in here. And just kind of blend those two colors together. Now, using those little X strokes makes blending so much better than just trying to do it with the brush turned sideways. Plus, you get that asthma sound that everybody wants. All right, now I'm going to tap in over here. Forgive me, guys, it's been a long day. Right into a little alizarin crimson. And I'm going to come right above that. I'm going to leave just a little bit of white between them. Just a little. Because this is such a strong color, I don't want to bring it right down into it. All right, and we'll just start with little X strokes, blending this crimson back. And now we'll blend it down into our orange. So far we have cad yellow, a little cad orange, and then alizarin crimson. I'm just going to bring that crimson around this way a little bit. and it mixes with that liquid white, it's going to get lighter and lighter, and that's just fine. And then just blend these edges together, make them real soft back in here. Not using a lot of pressure. Okay. Now, without washing the brush, I'm going to come right here into a little bit of the ultramarine blue and just tap it right on my brush. I don't want a lot. I want it to be an even distribution in this brush. So tap it real good. Tap that brush real good. And it pushes your paint into the bristles a little bit. Then I'm going to come right up here in this corner. And I'm going to bring this color down. And around the... Now when we get right here, we want to be real careful not to get into our yellow. If we do, you know what's going to happen. Put in the comments if you do know. Just add a little bit of this crimson up here in it. I know you may be thinking, what is he doing? But trust me, guys, when we get through blending everything, it's going to change the whole look. So y'all don't give up on me just yet. All right, then I'm going to come back up here and get me a little bit more of the ultramarine this time. But now we got crimson in the brush, so we're going to give us a shade of lavender up here. Because ultramarine's already about got that color in it. That violet look. Violent, not violent, like it's going to go out and hurt somebody. All right. Okay, let me back out of this monitor right here just for a second and see if I can figure out what's going on. I can see the chat way over there, but that's not where I need to be seeing it. I need to be seeing it where I can respond to it. All right, let's try this one more time. I'll go to YouTube. I'll go to painting with her. Maybe it'll let me come in. I don't know. Me and technology are just... We're not the best friends, I'll say that. All right, now we're going to get just a little bit more of this color that we were using. Now see that lavender in here, it's not as prone to turn the yellow-green like the blue does. All right, that's a that's a pretty wild looking sky, ain't it? Somebody said, restart your device. And then I'm like, yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right, while that's doing this little thing over here, we'll continue on. Now, this brush has got all of these colors in it. I'm not going to wash that brush just yet. I'm going to hang on to it a little bit. But I am going to pick up me a clean dry 1-inch brush. Okay. And I'm going to grab a paper towel for this. And I'll show you why. You always want to start in your lightest color and blend out to your darker colors. Don't start out here and then bring that back in here. Because we got a couple of things to do in here to make it pop. But we just want to start in this yellow and just start lightly blending out. And then see, this is why I got the paper towel. When you start picking up too much of that dark, come right here on your paper towel and you're able to wipe it out. And then you can just start back. Okay. Now we're bringing it into the blue. But the trick is, or not so much the trick, what I'm trying to do is I want to blend all of these colors and make them soft, like a real soft sky. And by rubbing that paint out on that brush, it allows you to do that. All right, now, right in here, we got to be careful. We don't want to put no blue in that. All right. A little harsh right here. We'll blend that out. Maybe a little right in here. Okay, now I'm really going to blend it out good down here. Applying a lot of pressure down here. I want this to look misty. That's the horizon. We're going to put stuff in it above it. So, all right, now just take your brush. See where that dark color is kind of stringing up in that? We'll utilize it. We'll just come up here and tap. Make it look like far, far away clouds. I mean, if it wants to be in the painting. All right, let's see what we got going on over here now. If this thing's going to actually bring me into the live this time. I don't like not being able to communicate with you guys. I mean, it's annoying. Well, at least I see the painting this time that we're actually painting. All right, now we'll just up here, putting all of this out. Just real light. All right, now. I'm not going to wash this brush yet either. There's a couple other places in the painting we're going to use it. Hey, I see MC now. Said you hearing me? Okay. Bonsai said, not your typical Bob Ross colors. No. Oh, it's Frank. Okay, Frank. Lots of colors brushed here. Yes, sir. Lots of colors tonight. This is I got inspiration today actually from Pam. I went in Pam's live for a few minutes, and she was painting this pretty little lake scene, and I thought, I want to do something like that. So All right, now I'm just going to take my white, and this is just straight titanium white. I haven't put any other colors in it. And I'm going to come across right in here. I want this spot to be super bright right in here. All right, I'm just going to blend out the outside edge of it. I want to leave that bright spot right in here. I want to leave that. And then I want to blend it on out this way. Just let it get darker and darker and darker out here. But I do want that. I want that one bright spot in my sky today. Yeah, no puzzle piece. That's right. Not on YouTube. Thankfully. Oh, got a little brush hair sticking up there. All right, now I'm going to take a little white. I'm going to come over into this color that we made all of our sky with. It's all in this ultramarine blue. I'm going to put a little white in here and tone this color down. I really want it to get like a real light lavender color. And I want to come up here on some of these little cloud looking things. I want a little more white than that. And I just want to come up here and kind of wispy them around. Now note, I'm not adding a lot of color, but when I get right over here in this area, I'm going to add a lot more brighter color because the sun's coming through. So in here, we'll get a little brighter. And we just want to come in just real lightly. Blend the bottoms away in here. That's just a little more white on right in there. Yeah, I like that. Make it look like that sun's hitting it. Then I'm going to take some of this cad yellow, mix it with a little white. Not much. I'm working in small quantities of paint today right now, guys. Now, when I go to loading the brush up really with a lot of paint, I'll tell you. But for now, everything is just real small corner to fan brush type stuff. All right, now I'm going to come right into where this yellow is. And I want to send a little ray of light through there. That kind of looks like a cloud. And then just with this other opposite corner of the fan brush, I'm just going to come back up here and blend it out. And then I'm going to take that color and come right here under my bright spot. And light this spot up right in here pretty good. And then we can pick us up some of this color and just bring us in a little droopy looking cloud that's hanging down back there. And then we'll blend all this out back here. And I left those colors on the fan brush when I went to blending. So if any of those colors came off anywhere, that's fine. We're not going to cry about it. All right. I'm going to lay the fan brush to the side for now, too. Now I'll come up here and get my small knife. And I'm going to pick up just a little bit of this ultramarine. I'm going to put just a little bit of Van Dyke brown in it. Not much Van Dyke brown. And then a little white. And just mix this color up real good. It's going to give us like a grayish purple looking color. All right. Now, we'll come back up here and we'll grab us some. No, we don't need another. We'll use that same 1-inch brush that we just blended with. We'll come maybe a little bit more ultramarine than that, not much. Just a little. That's what Bobby said. Just a little. All right. Now I want to tap that. Let me show you how I'm doing that. I hope y'all can see this. I want to tap that brush into my paint like that. And then before I go back to the canvas to paint with it, I want to push it forward. Tap. And then push it forward just a little bit. I hope this camera's high definition and focused enough to show y'all these little ridges of paint in here are now on the edge of that brush. And that's what we're going to be working with. So every time you see my hand go down, that's all I'm doing is reloading with this color. But anyway, I want to start back here. And I'm going to just make a heel back here. That's actually a little darker than I wanted, but we can work with it. All right. And we'll just fill it in. And it's fine if it's picking up that color. We want it lighter at the bottom anyway. In fact, we're going to blend the bottom out before we're done. And I think what I'll do is take a little bit of that white now, bring over into this color, lighten it up some. Not much, just some. Because we'll have the sun coming through here. So all of this in here eventually is going to have more light on it. So, but we don't want to kill all this dark color either. Just want to put a little heel back here. Something about like that. All right. Now let's add just a tiny bit more ultramarine in it. Tiny bits. Remember, I'm just working in tiny bits right now. Tap the brush, push it forward, get that little roll of paint. I'm going to come right in here. I'm going to bring us another little heel over here. That comes out of this one. And all I'm doing is just getting a little shorter with them across there. That's all. Well, I went right up into that cloud. I didn't want it to get there. But it got there. Just a little bit more of a color. Come back up here. And just bring that color off to wherever back here. It don't even matter at this point. All right, now I'll get me a clean dry brush. All right, we got to take us a little can yellow with a little white in it. And come right in here and just drag it across the canvas, just like that. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Then we want to take a little bit of that alizarin crimson color that we had back over in here, and just want to just bring it down through here. And then maybe a little bit more of that brighter color right in there. Maybe a little bit more of the lavender color back on this side. I'm just trying to kind of match what's up in the sky. And I know all of it is not going to be exact. I know that. But when you're doing your water, it doesn't have to be. So keep that in mind. All of this is going to get covered up anyway. I mean, so it's just basically we're just putting the color up here. It's all going to get covered up before the painting's over. All right. Now remember what I said. When you come back up here, blend from your yellow out. So I'm going to start right here and blend up into this color first. And if you get too much, use your paper towel. And we'll just go over it real good. And see, some of those colors are in the water. Not much, but some of them. All right, now with the same brush I picked up to blend with, since I'm holding it. No, I don't want to do that. I'll do it with this other brush. This one that we did our little mountains with, or our little hills. All right, I want to show you guys something here, okay? I'm going to take the tip of this brush, or corner, whatever you want to call it, the end of the bristles here. On the tops of these back here, I want to come into the paint just a little, and I want to come up out of it. I want to come up higher in some places and lower in others, okay? Just come up straight up out of it. That's all you got to do. And then do the same thing all the way across. I mean, if you want to come way up with it, you know, that's fine. Just what we want to do is just make it look like little bushes and grassy areas all back here. Crap, we'll bring this one on up. I don't care. They're way back here. Way back. So No detail in these. That's how far back they are. Well, thank you, MC. I appreciate that. All right, then on this one over here, we'll just come back on him and tap him a little more. We just want these to be real light back here. They're so far away that there's no detail in them. I don't want to kill all that cloud, so I'm going to stop right there. But then we'll come in here and just kind of blend out these areas. All we're doing right now is just giving them a little separation. That's all we're doing. Just to tell what we want to do back here. I think what I'm going to do is put me another little tree right here on this one. Yeah, I like that better. All right. Oh, got a pretty little hillside back here. Clean some of the paint out of that brush. Now I'm going to come up here under this. I'm going to put a little of that paint on here. I'm going to come right up here under this. And I'm going to pull this color straight down. Straight down across here. Okay. Now keep in mind, like I said, this is far away. It's across the lake. All right. Come up here and just barely drag that fan brush across your water here and put in the instant reflections. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab me a small fan brush. This is just a number 3. I'm going to come up here in this real light colored green that I got. I'll have to look up the name of it like I told y'all. I'll put it in the description. Or if you want to know what it is, just comment that you'd like to know and I'll send it to you. But right in here, where I want to kind of make these look like little swooping hills down or little banks. I want to come right in here with a little of this color. And I just want to add a small amount. Don't want a lot. Because remember, all of this back in here is real far away. So we don't want to light it up yet. I mean, we're fixing to, but ooh, see, that's what I mean. We didn't want to do. All right, let me still a little of that color, bring it over here. And I'll still a little more of it, bring it over here. I gotta say that is one of the things I love about oil painting is you can correct yourself if you make a boo-boo. All right, we got us a nice little bank area laid in back here. All right, I'm going to wipe that fan brush out real good. Come right here and get me some cad yellow. A little liquid white. I'm in titanium white. Why can't I say nothing right today? And I'm going to mix that white into this yellow. Get it good and bright. Get that color on the brush. Now, our sun's coming through here. It's probably going to be real prominent on maybe this one. I think it would probably light that one up a little bit. And then we know we're going to have a shadow off that tree, so it'll probably light this area in here up more. Well, now, you know, light's going to expand. It's not just going to come in one direction. And we'll let it hit right in there a little bit. And maybe a little bit hits right in here. And then maybe a little bitty bit get over there. All right, I'm going to clean this brush out again. Hiya, Harold. I finally see the chat. Love your paintings. Thank you for sharing. Thoroughly enjoy watching. Well, thank you so much, SRM 8866. I really appreciate it. My YouTube channel has really suffered because of my accident last year. I was gone a year, and I'm just now trying to get it back on track. So, thank you guys for being here. I really mean that. It means a lot to me. All right, we got that spot lit up pretty good, I think. Now I'm going to come back over here in the color that we used to make it with. This ultramarine and all these other colors down here. And then right under them, I'll start putting in some dark. And by adding this dark color under this, it's going to make that light pop up a little more. But you know, if that sun's hitting that tree, of course it's going to, you know, it's going to be back in here, and it's going to be dark back in here. Because that's what that light's doing. It's just going like so. I ain't sure yet how it would hit this one and put the shadow on it. So I'm just going to come right up here under it and just put a little darkness. Let's say the sun hit it at a kind of a messed up little angle across here. About like that. And then these back here, we'll get them a little shadow, but I mean, they're not real important in this painting. They just here to be here. They probably got 100 other places they'd rather be today. All right, now, by mixing all these colors like this, it gave us a darker green color. So we're going to work that to our advantage here. We're going to bring that dark color on down in here to the dark area. We'll make sure it's good and dark down in here. Because that sun's not going to hit down in that. And then just kind of blend it out. Maybe a little bit got right down there now. All right, anyway, I don't want to overwork that spot to death. I'm trying to figure out if I'm done with this thing, but no, I'm not done with it. We'll use it again. So we'll just lay it over here to the side for now. Okay. Now I want to take my little knife again. I'm going to come over here in my Van Dyke brown. Get just a little bit. Bring it up here into this white and yellow color. And then right in here where we think it's going to be real bright, we'll just kind of touch this color on right in here and give ourselves a little bank back in here that the water's sitting on. Like a little flat area back here. And then let it get darker where the Van Dyke brown has become this way. Keep it light in there like the light's hitting it. And then darker as we work away from it. Alright, then we'll just let this go off to anywhere back in here. This is not really important to us right now. Something I like, that's what we're looking for. But now you can see just by adding that little, and if you want to just make that spot just really, really stand out, take you just a little bit of that yellow and white on that little part of your knife and come back up here and just sprinkle it in there. You know, just touch it in there. That's all you gotta do. And it'll lighten that spot up even more. It'll make it look like that one spot right there just caught all the sun. Hogged it all up. All right, now back in here, I do want to clean this up a little bit back in here now, because we're fixing to be to a point in this painting. All right, see, you don't want a harsh line of brown down here at the bottom. So take the corner of your brush again and just tap the top of that brown into your color up there, and it kind of blends it in. You can even do that on your little shady spot. I mean, on your bright spot right there. But just kind of take that brush and just let it run back up the heel some, you know. Just whatever you do, just you're doing away with that harsh line. You don't want a harsh line across there. Oh, thank you, SRM. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. It does. It really does. Being gone so long, it's going to be tough for me to build it back up. I know it is, but it's people like you guys that spread the live out, and which is really the first good live I've done since I've been back. All right, we'll take a little Van Dyke brown and a little bit of this yellow color now. And get just a little roll of paint on the knife. We'll come back here and just give it the little indication of a trunk back in here. We don't want much. Remember, these trees are far, far away, but we can stick a few of them up, All right, now we'll take a little of that white and yellow. And right here on our brightest spot, this is where we want our brightest water to be. And we'll just start working that back and let it get darker and darker as we go back. All right, now let's take a little bit of that color we just made. And back here, we'll bring out a little bit of color on that bank. We'll even hit a couple of spots down through here just to give it a little highlight. It don't need much because I mean this paint is just, I think it's gonna be kind of neat when we get done. All right, now on these little sticks and twigs we made back here, we'll come up and give them little arms. And remember now, these are not going to have no detail. These are, I mean, they're made to look far off for a reason. We do not want a lot of detail in these at all. You just take that knife and go over them, and it kind of tones them down a little bit. Except for that little dude, he got caught in the light. He's lit up out there. He almost looks white. Does that look like it's in focus to you guys? Let me see if I can. Ooh, that's definitely not in focus. Here we go. We're getting there. All right. What about that? That looks a lot better to me. All right, now let's take this white spot right here and keep working with it and bring it all the way across. Just like so. All right. And that'll pretty much, I think, get us back that way. All right, now I'm gonna grab this fan brush, and I got to figure out how I want this set up to be. I think what I'm gonna do is get a little of midnight black, a little bit of the Van Dyke brown, and I'm gonna come across some bring this across. At that angle right there. So we'll just put us a line right there. How about that? Now, with that same color, we'll just come back up here and just start. Let's do it with a 1-inch brush. It'll be quicker. We got that 1-inch brush. It's got all them other colors in it anyway. So, yeah. All I'm doing is applying a dark color because this dark color is gonna end up being there for her highlights. You gotta have dark to show light. Remember that. You gotta have dark to show light. Let that wind on around that way a little bit. I can live with that. Yeah, that's I can deal with that. I got this inspiration for painting this painting today from a good friend of ours. Her name is Pam. And Pam was painting a painting similar to this, and I was like, no, I've been wanting to do a little scene like that. And put the wet on wet technique to it, you know. All right, I'm coming over here right now until the brush has got the Van Dyke brown and all that on it. I'm gonna add a little alizarin crimson. I'm gonna add a little of the ultramarine, just the dark colors. The Van Dyke brown. I'm gonna come right over here. And I'm gonna just start tapping in us a big tree over here. And this is a pretty big tree, I guess. A lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. But that's fine, because of what's gonna happen here in a few minutes. You'll be here to see it, I hope. All right. And let's give him a frame right here, right beside him. How about that? All right, that's all we need right there. Just a good dark color. That's all we need. All right. Let's do the same thing on this side. Maybe this one on this side is a little shorter or a little different. We all got problems in life. You can have problems too. Alright, get us a good dark color going here. Just bring that dark color right down into our other dark color. You can even come in here and brush out the bottoms of them now. We just needed them where they at for now. All right, MC, take it easy, buddy. Thank you for dropping in. All right, let's take us a palette knife here. And let's do us some sketching. I won't call it drawing because I can't draw. So I'll just call it a sketch right quick. All right. Good. Well, that paint's tough when it gets on you, ain't it? All right, let's come right about here. And then in here, and we'll come across. Bring this down. this way. You scrape out as much of this paint in here as you can. All right. Get us some of our dark color now. Start blocking this in. Alright, we know we gotta have a dark eve back here on it. So I'm gonna start there. Give ourselves a little eve back here. I gotta bring our dark color down. Alright, let's put some color in right here. And we'll come right in here and start bringing this color down. Alright. I just need to go over here and get some more brown, looks like. Alright. For some reason, my dark color is not wanting to stick right here. I don't know what's going on. There it goes. Finally. Right. Now we'll form a kind of a cabinectomy. Somewhat of one anyway. Let's get our roof right. Alright. Getting pretty blocked in right there, I'd say. Whew. Now let's do this paper towel over here and clean our knife up so we can. I gotta go get some more paint. Definitely gotta get some more paint. For some reason, I didn't put out enough, which is so unlike me. I'm that guy that usually puts way too much out, you know? But not tonight. All right. We're gonna work on our little cabin with with a brush when we come back. We're gonna get away from this knife. Okay. Now let me go over here and get just a little bit more brown. I'm in a wheelchair, guys, so give me just a second. I won't be gone but a second. Black. Well, you know, it's on the bottom of the bar. All right, sorry about that, guys. That is a painter error. Allowing myself to run out of paint. That's not a very professional move. I'm gonna reach over here. I'm gonna grab me a brush. I'm gonna use a little small detail brush here for a few minutes to close in some of the highlights on that cabin. And then we'll worry about getting the perspective and all that right on it. Because right now it looks like a little bent over lighthouse out there. And that's not the look we're going for. So let's just work on getting it where we want it. All right, I'm gonna come up here in this color we had earlier. That's got all that yellow and that light brown color we made. Okay. I'm gonna come right up here and pull straight down. All right, and that's good if you keep a paper towel handy for this, so you can wipe the dark colors out as you go. You want to keep your color kind of clean here. All right. I'd say that's all the way up in there. We'll come down. Now don't forget our sunlight's going to kind of hit the front of it here. So if it's good and bright, that's fine. We don't care. We ain't going to cry about it today. All right, now. It gives us kind of a grayish look. Pull that shadow down on the eave there. Because we've got to work on this perspective for sure. I can see it's already off. All right, let's take a little bit more of a color. I'll come back here. Now this is going to be dark when we're done, but we gotta get it light to make it dark, just like it had to be dark to make it light. So, but all we want it to be is a little darker than the front. That's all, and that'll show that change in direction. All right, now let's come over here and get us a little bit more to Van Dyke Brown now, since we got some. And we'll come right back up here on this outside line. And we'll clean this up a good bit. And we'll bring that brown down into it, into our color here. Because here in a second, we're going to try to make it look like old boards back in here on this cabin. Can y'all even tell that's a cabin? All right. Now we'll get a little white this time. Bring it back over here in our other color that we had, that lighter color earlier. All right. And then come in here and just start pulling that light color down. And I want to do the same thing on this side. Come up to your roof and just pull that color down. And here's really trying to miss when they're running here. All right, just pull this color straight down. Well, that's taking a little shape. It's looking better than it did a few minutes ago. I'll say that. All right, now let's take us a little bit of our black on that brush. And let's come back up here now and really make this appear that it's in the shade, this eave of the house back there. There went my palette, and there went all my colors right on my socks. Oh, we'll be changing them later. Which I guess is better than your drawers. Oh. All right, now we're going to get a little bit darker right here because our roof's wanting to clown a little bit too for some reason. All right. Now we'll get our knife and we'll come up here and we'll do a cabinectomy on this dude. Actually, make it look like a block figure set back there rather than a leaning tower of Pisa. All right, I don't know about you guys, but if I lived here in this spot, I wouldn't want a door right there. I want my door around on the other side, so I can look out at that lake view every day. And that's just me. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll take some of my black, and what I will do is back here in the back, I'll give him a little window he can look out anyway. Make sure old Bigfoot don't sneak up on him back here, because we all know how Bigfoot is. If you're watching this video live, I want to say thank you for joining me. But if you're not and you're watching it after the live goes off, please comment. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Because I got a couple questions that I'd like to ask. And if y'all want to respond in the comments, that's fine. First and foremost, all of Bigfoot's pictures are blurry. Now we got satellites in the sky now that can pick up a car tag that's going down the highway. How come we can't get a clear image of this dude if he's there? And my next thing is, whenever somebody finds a Bigfoot track, it's always one. Does Bigfoot hop around to get from point A to point B? Or am I just crazy for thinking that way? Anyway, let's go back to painting. We won't worry about Bigfoot. I'll be sitting here talking this crap Bigfoot, but I'm broken this door over here, kicked it in, and I'm telling y'all something. I'm going to vacate the premises as fast as this wheelchair will go. I don't know how fast it'll go. I think 4 miles an hour, which probably ain't fast enough to get away from him. But, well, it looks like our windows if I would have put them in. Because I am not a carpenter. Trust me. If I had to build stuff for a living, I'd go home. We'll give him a big picture one over there. That way he can sit in his living room, look out at the little deer and the wildlife. All right. And we'll put him a couple of windows back here. They don't have to be real big. One of these is probably in the bathroom. And he probably don't want a real big window in his bathroom, I know I wouldn't. All right, now let's take a little of this dark color. And come up here, and touch, and just pull it down real light. And just give this the illusion of some boards back in here. We'll do the same thing on the back side, even though you can't see them. We know they're there. We put them in. Mm-hmm. Now let's take us a little bit of that cerulean blue and a little white. And mix them together. Give us a little blue color here. Real light blue. We'll come back up here and we'll maybe look like we got a little glass in our windows. Give them just a little shimmer, And back here, don't forget these are real dark, so they don't need a lot. Then we'll take us a little bit of that light color we was using earlier. And we'll come up here and we'll frame our windows in now. Just by touching. That's all I'm doing. Just touching that brush. Going around. Putting a little frame on the outside of our windows. And yes, I'm going to do all of them. But these back here, dark, man. Dark. So, we may have to tone them down a little bit. But we can do that. And to do that, we're going to pick up a little bit of the Van Dyke brown and put on this brush and come back and tap right over that color. And put these ones back here in the dark. Now let's put us in a little frame. I'm sure the guy's going to want to frame those windows. I would think. And there again, the back is so dark that we don't need a lot of detail. Do not want a lot of detail. All right. Now we got to put us a roof on. And for that, we'll come back up here now and give us a little white, a little of the bright red, a little of Van Dyke brown. That's a little white, a little red, and a little Van Dyke brown. And then we'll just come up here and just start touching him on a little roof. Kind of make it look like old shingles, you know. I guess we can go all the way down first. Because back in here it's going to get dark, remember? Dark back here in the back. More white. For this front side here. Just touch his color on, just bouncing that brush. That's all I'm doing. I mean, if he ends up with holes in his roof, you know, it ain't our fault. If he didn't maintain the place, that's on him. We just want to come up here and just touch on some little shingles across here is all we're doing. And then darker and darker back here in the back. And just let this color come on down. The further you go down with your color, the darker it's going to get automatically. So the paint under there, under painting it works for you. It does a lot of that stuff you don't want to do. We will make that a little sharper for him across there. Alright, now we'll come down this other side over here. But now this other side's going to be a little brighter because it's on the sunny side. We'll just take our brush and just touch the outside. And just like that, he's got a little sunny side. All right, now let's let just the tiniest amount of light hit this window right here. I mean the tiniest amount. Let's see it's just hitting these windows back here. Not much, just a little. Sometimes too much of a detail will overwork a painting, and it'll completely do away with your whole concept of your paint. All right, I gotta get my trash can here, guys. My paper towel stack is piling up on me over here, so I can get some stuff thrown away. All right. Now it's time to work on perspectives on our grass. So let's grab us a 1-inch brush. All right, let's come up here into this light green color that I can't remember the name of. And a little of that dark green I can't remember the name of. And we just mix these two color greens together. Right on the 2-inch brush. We'll just tap into it and then push forward. Get that little ridge of paint, remember? All right. Let's start right here. We want to bring it up to the cabin here. And it's going to get darker and darker back in here, remember? It's dark back in here. And the house is projecting a little shadow right there, so. All right. I'm going to come out here on this. Well, I should put all this in before I built my cabin. I'm seeing that now. Damn it. We just come back and clean these lines up in a minute. Ain't no big deal. All right. Now let's just take some of this green and just start tapping it in across here. You definitely want some of that dark color green back here behind the cabin, because back here is where everything's dark. All over here on our little bush. All under our big tree here. Real dark under these. No light. Right. We just tap this color in. That's all we're doing. Just good and dark. That's all we want. All right. Hey, T. Winter, how are you? Oh, I gotta stretch my legs just a second, guys. Sorry. Again, sitting in this wheelchair for a long time was tough on me, on my back. All right. I'm gonna wait to go back up and clean that cabin up after I get all the highlights and stuff put on, but we will get it done. All right, I'm gonna come over here into my cad yellow. Okay. And a little of that light green. And just tap these colors on the brush. And where all that light's coming through right here, This is going to be where the sun's hitting it out here. And like I said, we'll worry with cleaning all this up, all of that, when I get done here. All right, now we want to leave this dark back in here where the cabin's at. All out here we want it to be a little brighter. And I'm just lightly tapping on this color. That's all I'm doing. All right, now this tree's probably going to cast a shadow probably back this way, if I had to guess, since our light's here. So we'll take into account that he's back there. And we'll just leave him a good dark area. But all out in here can be pretty well bright, you know. I'm just tapping these colors in. That's all I'm doing. Now, we'll come back up here with white. Bring a little white down into this color now. And a little yellow. Get it real bright. Okay. Now, where our light's at, I want to come up here and just lightly tap on the color. Now we're not going to be doing any hard tapping. This is just real light. Just bring that color out. Just make sure you leave you some dark spots in there. It'll make you look like you got a few little high spots in your grass. Boy, it don't look like this guy's cleaned this place up in a while, does it? Don't look like he's mowed the grass. But hey, it's his place. If he don't want to mow, he ain't got to mow. All right, now don't forget to leave an area back here in shadow for this little tree. All right, now I want to get me a clean paper towel over here. I'm going to wipe some of this paint out of the brush. Just want to come in with another brush here. Then we got to go over and clean our cabinet. which is not going to be hard to do. We can do it. All right, I'm just going to clean as much of this paint out as I can on a paper towel here. That's all I'm doing. Just rubbing it real good. And then I'm going to drop it over in the thinner. And by rubbing some of that paint out, what it does is it allows you to not pollute your thinner as much. So hopefully that's a nice little tip. All right, now I'm going to come back in this darker green color that we got right here. And I'm going to put a small amount on my brush. And I'm going to come in my dark where that color is. And I want to come over to my light color. And I want to start blending them out, make them look like where they meet. And we'll do the same thing over here on this one. Just blend them out to make them look like they just kind of still in here, but dark, you know. That way it just kind of cast you a normal shadow. You don't have to come in here with browns or, you know, anything to that effect. All right. Now I'm going to grab my little detail brush we were using earlier. Come back up here in my Van Dyke Brown. And let's clean this outside edge up here. And bring all this color back down like it was. And now see, it just looks like it's sitting right down in that grass. Like that grass is kind of fluffy. I'll tell you what, that Eve needs a little bit of bright color. So let's take some white and come back over into these other colors we were using, the yellow and the brown. And let's load that brush up with that color. It's good and bright. And let's say that sunlight comes across here and hits that corner of that house right there. And then it may even hit the corner down through here a little. Over here a little. And on this outside, we know it's going to hit it. It's going to hit it first. So definitely want to put some color over here. Just come on and touch it on is all I'm doing. And that'll make the cabin stand out a little bit too. Thank you, MC. All right, now I'm just with that same little brush. I'm just rubbing some of the paint out of it. Okay. I want to come from around the house here. All right. Let's say the old dude lives, like I said, he's looking out at the lake every day. So you gotta have a way to get around there to his front door. So let's come in here and let's just wipe some of this paint out. And we'll put a little path through there that runs off into nowhere. And then as we get further out on the little path, of course we want to get wider. Okay. Now we'll take some of that same color we've been using, that Van Dyke brown and the cad yellow and the white. We're still going to use that same color. All right. Let's make it kind of dark this time. We'll darken it up some. Not much because it's going to be a highlight. But we want to light our little path up now. We just want to come through here and Just touch his color on in a few places. And just make it look like a little old path that he uses to get in and out of his cabin back here. I don't know, this may be a hunting cabin. He may not come out here but once a year. Or it may be a summer getaway cabin. I don't know. I don't know what they do back here in this little cabin. And I probably don't want to know. Alright, we want this to disappear. It's like it goes around behind the house and up to his front door. Alright, then we'll just blend it out into the grass. Because we don't want no harsh line. Alright. We'll put that brush back in the thinner. Then we'll get us another clean, well, it ain't clean, but it's one of the brushes we were using earlier. Come back up into our light green color and our yellow, the color that we used to highlight all that, and the white. And we'll come right along the path and just tap some of that grass along the path. And just make it look like the little path sits down in the grass back here, you know. Just bring it up to it. And we'll bring this on back here. I don't know what y'all think, but I think if let's bring us a shadow down through there first and clean our path up on that one side. What I want to do is come up in here and just touch and pull up right here. Just a little bit with this dark color. Just put it in here and touch. And just make it look like this grass on this backside is got a little lip to it. Like it's setting up above the path some. Hi, Lost Embarrassment. How are you? Alright, now I want to take me some of my white and a little of the yellow. And a little of the color we had going on. But I want it to be a little brighter this time. And let's just say that the sun kind of hits the path in a few places. You know, across here. We'll just brighten it up a little bit in a couple places. Not much. Well, why not? Let's just do it like that. We'll bring it on off the... But all we want is, you know, just a little path. Because like I said, the guy's having a hard time getting to the front of the cabin, you know. And if you don't hurry and cut the grass, it's going to get even tougher than that. Okay, now with a knife, we'll come up here and get our Van Dyke Brown. Get that little roll of paint. Anytime you're working with a knife, you want a what? A little roll of paint. All right, we'll come right here above the cabin. And put us in the trunk for this tree. We'll bring it all the way down to the cabin there. We'll come over here. We'll give this little tree over here one. We'll make him bent. He didn't grow straight as he should have. All right, let's take us on a couple little limbs up through here. Now, you don't have to have a limb everywhere on your tree. Most of these limbs probably won't even show up to tell you the truth of it. But we know they're there, so. And yeah, I'll put one more on that. Why not? And then one coming out that side. And then over here we'll do the same thing. But just put us in a little trunk. Bring some limbs off of it. And maybe one up here. Okay. Now, just like that, we got us some limbs in our trees. So let's take that same color, that brown, white, and yellow, and we'll use that color. And we'll come right back up here, turn the knife sideways, touch on a little bit of highlight down through here. Because if that sun's coming from that direction or our light's coming from that direction, it's gonna touch that tree on that side. And we'll hit us a couple of our little branches just in case they do decide to show up. And like I said, they may not, It all depends on how crazy I get when I go to detailing. And then we'll bring this one around. A little bit more of the white color. And we'll come over here. And we'll give this one some highlight on the other side. Because, of course, the light's coming from that side. All right, we'll hit this limb and that limb. And that limb. And that limb. All right. Now we get to play. This is where the fun comes in. Now we get to pick up our 1-inch oval brush. And this is my favorite brush right here for highlighting. Right, we'll put us a drop of thinner on. Not much, just a drop. Come right up here in my yellow and that darker green color I got. Like I said, if you want to know what color green I'm using, just drop me a comment and I'll comment back. I'll reply to you what color it is. But anyway, these are just highlight colors for now. Just the yellow and that green, whatever it is. And I'm just loading this brush up with paint. Okay. Then we'll come up here on our first little tree and just touch him on some highlights. Now, if you're having trouble with your paint coming off the knife, right here, the brush right here, add just a drop of thinner. But now be careful when you're using thinner. You don't want to use a lot, because then you'll have your paint all runny, and you don't want that. Or let's say I don't, okay? All right. And then we'll just kind of leave it a little dark there below the cap. Now I'm going to come over here into this rose red color. And I'm going to bring it over here and grab some of this yellow. Just enough to change the color is all I'm doing. You got to have a color change. If you got two trees that close together, you're going to have to be able to tell them apart. And if you use the same color on them, you won't be able to. Maybe a little bit more yellow in that. Yeah, there we go. And we'll bring this, just highlight a little here and there. And then leave a lot of that dark back in there. And if you want to, with a good, a good dark green color, you can come back in here and make it look like you got a couple little bushes growing. That's all fine and great. Nobody gonna fire you for that if you do it. I don't think nobody get mad at you. All right, now let's take us a little bit of that light orange color that we've been sitting here looking at the whole painting. And just come right into it with the same colors that's on the brush. Only difference, we're gonna add a little white this time. And just tap into that color. That's all you gotta do. Then come up here and just start real lightly tapping. But just keep in mind, you want to keep a tree shape here, Don't just come up here and just go to tapping anywhere and think it's going to look like a tree. It won't. Bob used to joke all the time about go out and make friends with a tree. Well, all he meant was go out and study the trees. Go out and look at them and look at their shapes and how the branches, how they fill out and different things. All right, now we'll just start getting a little darker down here at the bottom. All right, then we'll put us a little alizarin crimson in this color now. Since this is dark back in here, we'll put us a couple little bushes back here. Come down. Leave all that dark. You want to leave all that dark. That dark shows you light. All right, now I'll drop that brush in the bucket. Now I'm going to come back and grab a fan brush that we used way back yonder. All right. I'm going to get just a tad bit of thinner on it. And I want to come up here and get me just watch how I do this, guys. This is important. All right, I got a little bit of thinner on my brush. I'm going to come up here, tap it in the red like that, but then I want to come back and tap the color into the brush. See? Now that color's in the brush. Just a few places up through here, not many. I want to come in here and just touch. If you put too many, it's gonna look crazy. It just ain't gonna match the painting. But just a couple places along here with this red, come in and just put some little wildflower looking things out there. But now trust me, if you put too many, it's gonna be ugly. Trust me. All right, now we'll put some little orange flowers out there. Same way. Put some paint on the brush and then tap it in. I'll come right in here with a couple little flowers. Let's get some over here on the water's edge. Back in here. Maybe we got some little white stuff growing out here. Like little clover tops. Real bright colors. Maybe. But just don't forget to tap that paint in the brush if you put a new color on. Because if you leave a big glob of paint out there, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. You end up with a big glob of paint up there on your painting. Now, if you want a big glob of paint up there, well, it's your painting. I think a couple of pretty blue wildflowers would look good in this painting. We'll get us a little cerulean blue. But there again, guys, I'm telling y'all, seriously, Don't come up here and fill your whole grass area up with flowers. Because if you do, it's gonna look like it just ain't gonna look right, okay? All right, now I'm gonna take us a little script mounted brush here. Come over here into some thinner. And right up here into our bright red. Load this little brush up with paint. We'll come over here in our shadow. And put us on a little H. All right, just like that, guys. I'm gonna call this painting done. It's just like I said, I was inspired by Pam. Uh, when I saw hers earlier, I wanted to do a little lake house, and she's working on one when she gets through with it. It's really really pretty, and I just thought y'all like to see something like this a little different out of me, rather than me coming in painting the big mountains and everything. But anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight. I know I didn't have a big crowd tonight. We'll work on that in the future. As time goes on, maybe we can attract more people to the channel. But for now, thank you guys for being here. I love each and every one of you guys. God loves you more. Y'all have a very, very blessed afternoon. And if you want to catch more of me and some more friends of mine that are excellent artists, join us over on the TikTok. But okay, guys, I'm out for now. I'll see y'all soon.